all things, we thank the good Lord for this gathering. It's an evening, well planned, 3 o'clock. We have one of our most appropriate co-hosts who wrote this book, did the research. So, on behalf of the people of Nagaland, we welcome once again Bijoy Shankardas. I just hate these northeastern states and Jammu and Kashmir team leader for this book. In the first place, thank you, SCERT. The school education is a very big department, so the sister organization SCERT, led by its director, Madam Kekhrielhoulie has initiated this, and we have the ECE cell. So I was told that it's a 6-member group along with your collaborating partners. So a big congratulations for this wonderful day. We have put the milestones. You have listed 3 key indicators where we have done very well at the national level. So I will like to warmly welcome you for giving all those observations. I also like to acknowledge the presence of our Commissioner Secretary and from our sister organizations, the NBSC, led by its chairperson, our Shiksha Shamara Shiksha, Madam Tamsnaro, as well as our director, Sir Wundungo, as well as all the officials who are presented here, researchers, and so on and so forth. I have nothing more to say. Like politicians, we come and take glory for what other people do. So that has become a habitual thing for us. But I must say that following what Bijoy Shankar has commented, Azim Premji University, we are all familiar. It's an institution which has come up quite in recent times. You see, in the 1960s, we have institutional formations like the IITs, JNU, and so on. But if you look at how the trend of education is integrated, you see Azim Premji with its innovative hub and so on. You see, it's a very good opportunity for people of Nagaland, especially a research-based organization like SCERT, to be collaborating with all of you. So we hope that this will continue in future. I have not yet gone at length, but judging by the cover of the book, it looks like it's going to be a great terrific. I'm not very sure about the quality, but because the quality looks expensive, so I do not know its accessibility to everybody. So I do not know how many copies you have printed, but I think as a student or a teacher's manual, by the touch of it, I think it's a little bit sophisticated and it may be too expensive. All other things equal, we all know that a lot of stress is being put on what do we call nowadays children. You see, of course, I'm not that old also. I have a lot of seniors in terms of age here also. We have seen a lot of changes which are taking place, not just with the coming of digital age, but the biogenomic age also, whatever they call it. You see, but for us simple folks, people who belong to rural background, our inherent cognitive spheres, you see, we have no written language. As people without written history, you see, all our senses are geared on the cognitive. So for cognitive people, I just want to also allow all of us to hear that it's not just our cognitive distinct, but we are in total harmony with our ecosystem, with our nature, you see. So I will just like to quickly end with a story. When the Britishers came to Nagaland, you see, they put up their deputy commissioner in the form of, I forgot that person who was killed in Kohima. He was one of the first deputy commissioners to be killed. And when the British Empire, which is like where the sun never sets, they were totally alarmed to the point of being greatly offended that a small, tiny people like the Nagas will have challenged their authority because nobody dares the empire in the form of challenging their deputy commissioner who represents the empire. So when that poor chap was killed right at the front gate of Kohima in the morning of October 1879, what they did was they brought in a very invested military campaign to what we call teach for once and for all this Kohima people and the people who are behind this. The Kohima people, of course, along with people from as far as Kikruma, Chakasan area, and the neighboring people who all collaborated. You see, it was only a one evening, one night affair. They all ran away after the British, after so many months of preparation, lay siege on Kohima Fort. I'm sure you must have visited. I'm sure you are all more familiar than me. They ran up to the mountain, what is called Chaka Fort. The British laid what is called the guerrilla warfare against this band of renegades in their eyes, needs to be punished. But they could not attack them. They could neither penetrate. So we have what we call this guerrilla campaign, which was going on for months and months. The British were totally disappointed. For the first time in Naga Hills, what do we call, duck runners were given armed escorts. You see, it started from Naga Hills, which was later on followed all over where British colonial systems were. You see, so that was the kind of threat British were up to. So it's a very, interesting story. What is interesting here is the British know exactly that whatever great or mighty a warrior is, he or she is a warrior and a homemaker first. It is not like that. You see, you have to be not just you have to be a farmer first before you are a warrior. So they know that food security lies at the heart of every Naga family. So they were waiting for these Naga warriors because the sowing time has come. So they were calculating that when April time comes, for sure, where will this poor bunch of people? So winter passed away, spring came, so the time for sowing came. So naturally, these great warriors had to come tumbling down and surrender because food security is much more important than battling against the British Empire. The story here is, as cognitive people, we are very warm, we are very, and of course, how we communicate, it's all interwoven. So I used to tell jokingly to people, if you look at how we communicate, if you are eating, people will ask you, are you eating? If they see you standing, they will ask you, are you standing, in their own language. No badama, no shatadama, no chutejama, no matsama. Like simple, stupid conversations in the eye or in the ears of others, you see. But this is what essentially brings or binds together, you see. Our language structures are, or our vocabulary extensions are not as expansive as all languages like Sanskrit or Tamil, but you see the kind of language communion we have with each other, the process of identifying each other, you see, in the indigenous system, you see, the individual is not counted, you see. So the number one, which is what today as modern society, because now we are not just putting a piece where all sizes fit, you see. We are here talking about individuality. So it is also a lot of stress for a young society like Nagas, because suddenly from our old educational system, we are now being asked to be informed about the different forms of literacy. It's not just about the 3 R's, but it's also about emotional literacy, social literacy, which needs to be incorporated into our child. So we see that changes are happening, and this sudden shift, you see. So when we look at system thinking, for a Naga generation which graduated not even 100 years ago, it was in 1924, so perhaps we will celebrate our first graduation year in 2024, but the rapidness with which, so when society changes rapidly, do we see a fracture? Do we see a kind of stress? I don't think we have seen any stress. We as a young society, we may not have the, civilization or the in-depthness of the written civilizations, but perhaps our adaptability is what makes us also vulnerable, but it is also this that makes us as free people. So our adaptability, our vulnerability, this is what is all woven into what we call the fabric of indigeneity. So here I know it's not just valorization. You see, I remember playing with toys in the form of a top made out of wooden tin. But of course, a lot of all this, so with the legonization, or what they call Hamlinization of the world, a lot of changes are of course taking place. But of course, these are not just regimented issues to be like the charm of museum piece kind of thing. But if you look at the soul of the Naga, you see, it is very much still like what we were in ancient time, perhaps, you see. And I think that is very important. Our communication system, I've said, it is not difficult for us to identify who a stranger is in a village. It is very easy because it is woven into our what we call process of communication. So you see, so how interconnected we are. The individual is nobody. The community always comes first. So today we are faced with challenges where the individual is above the community, and we see that when it comes to new forms of what we call how we adapt to new forms of government or with laws, policies, etc., we see that there are some conflicts. So I have no answer here, but my challenge to the SCERT community is this is an innovative hub. We know that for professional growth, the government has not been able to do enough. We have not been able to initiate what we call collaborations with other institutions. So perhaps using this occasion, I am proud to say that I represent Nagaland today because we have come out with not just a vision document, but with a research policy specifically on ECCE, and this document will go a long way. I remember when India launched its what do we call food policy, the FAO, the world was in much charm of it. Then for so many years, India did not have food mapping all over India. So we brought out our food policy only very, very recently, after a long time. So I think when it comes to what do we call the soul or the food for the soul, this is what we need. Nagaland has still a long way to go, but there are also so many things to learn from Nagaland, and I'm so proud once again and I warmly congratulate the ECC team led by Kekhrielhoulie Yhome and team. We hope that you will go a long way. I know SCERT has so many cells. It's like Al-Qaeda having so many sleeping cells, quietly doing their work here and there. But I believe that you will come out more open, we will get more visibility, and the department as well as all of us, we will have a approach to what you are doing. Today, our sincere works needs to be appreciated, and we need to collaborate more, and we need to go a long way ahead. And with that, thank you so much.
A very warm welcome to all of you on this occasion for the launch of the much-needed educational resources in the form of Nagaland Ecce Curriculum Handbook and Indigenous Toys and Games. Education is a cornerstone of progress and transformation. It opens doors, broadens horizons, and empowers individuals to reach the potentials, and what better way to enhance education through the creation and dissemination of exceptional educational resources. Quality education of young leaders is crucial as it serves as the foundation of knowledge and skills, which are building blocks for higher level learning. As such, the NEP 2020 is a transformative initiative to attain high quality education for all children, reiterating the importance of every child to have access to early childhood care and education. And this has necessitated the development of curricular and pedagogical framework for ECCE for children up to the age of 8. In this light, the Nagaland Ecce Curriculum Handbook has been developed to provide good quality preschool education, given due considerations to the socio-cultural context of the children in the state. The Nagaland Ecce Curriculum Handbook is crucial for ushering in much needed change in the educational system in the state. It will also serve as a guiding tool for teachers to develop innovative pedagogical practices and facilitate learning experiences contextual to our children. The handbook is a product of cooperation and collective efforts of subject teachers, government and private, teacher educators from SCERT DIET, School Education Department, Social Welfare and ECCE, practitioners in private sector, and faculty from Azim Premji University, Bangalore, which is a non-profit organization. I congratulate the curriculum development team and hope that promoting and ensuring holistic development of children will be sustained through the use of this handbook. And then the book Indigenous Toys and Games is another exceptional educational resource, as it is an exploration of the rich cultural heritage of a people. And through this exploration, an attempt is made to create learning experience in many contexts and across a range of classroom lessons and outdoor activities. Particularly in a world where many different kinds of information is readily available, it is crucial to have educational resources that not only provide knowledge but also inspire curiosity, critical thinking, creativity, and to be situated in a proper context. This book recognizes the vision and within it holds ideas, thoughts, and perspectives that we hope will ignite the minds of the learners. It is understood that play and toys are a vital part of childhood, and indigenous games and toys provide wide scope for stimulating and enhancing games and communication, motor skills, creativity, problem solving, and many other skills. It also reinforces culture and has the potential to orient learners towards recognizing and embodying values that is conducive for the development of the learner as well as the society. I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to the project team and all those involved in the creation of these books. Your dedication and commitment to enlighten and inspire deserve our utmost admiration. I would also like to sincerely thank the Samagra Shiksha for funding and making possible the development of these books. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to each and every one of you present here today. And as we celebrate this milestone, let us be reminded of the immense transformative power of education and our responsibilities in various capacities in nurturing a culture of learning and embrace the many possibilities that lie within this exceptional educational resource. Thank you.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.